Hey folks, Babbage here. Good to see you, Roller. We are back. Long dark. Got a lot of water on us. Oh, how was your weekend so far? That's what it's like outside. This does not look like fire starting weather. Productive chill? I was semi-productive. I spent part of the day trying to finish up. I have this huge stack of short stories that I have to read through and annotate
This pack is getting
for
too
a
heavy to
research
carry.
project for my last project slash class for my degree. And I'm down to the last 7, I think. So I should finish up this weekend, and then I'll move on to doing some quantitative analysis around them. But yeah. What? Where are we at? Hydrate. There you go. Thanks. Hydrate and a stretch even. Look at that. Big stretch. And a little Baba Noir. Long Noir. Okay. So I did find a version where I can see clearly where the pages end, and so we'll know how many pages we've read. Last time we read how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5.5 pages last time, which was definitely too long. So we'll go for 2 pages, I think. 1 page, maybe 1.5. We'll see what we're at. Okay, so this is chapter 2 of the Maltese Falcon. Death in the Fog. A telephone bell rang in the darkness. When it had rung 3 times, bed springs creaked. Fingers fumbled on wood. Something small and hard thudded on the carpeted floor. The springs creaked again, and a man's voice said, "Hello? Yes. Speaking. Dead? Yes. 15 minutes. Thanks." A switch clicked, and a white bull hung on 3 gilded chains from the ceiling's center filled the room with light. Spade, barefooted in green and white checked pajamas, sat on the side of his bed. He scowled at the telephone on the table while his hands took from beside it a packet of brown papers and a sack of Bull Durham tobacco. Cold, steamy air blew in through 2 open windows, bringing with it 6 times a minute the Alcatraz foghorn's dull moaning. A tinny alarm clock, insecurely mounted on a corner of Duke's Celebrated Criminal Cases of America, face down on the table, held its hands at 5 minutes past 2. Spade's thick fingers made a cigarette with a deliberate care, sifting a measured quantity of tan flakes down into curved paper, spreading the flakes so that they lay equal at the ends with a slight depression in the middle, thumbs rolling the paper's inner edge down and up under the outer edge as forefingers pressed it over, thumbs and fingers sliding to the paper cylinder ends to hold it, even while tongue licked the tip flap. Left, I'm going to sneeze here in a second. Left forefinger and thumb pinching their end, while right forefinger and thumb smoothed the damp seam, right forefinger and thumb twisting their end and lifting the other to Spade's mouth. He picked up the pigskin and nickel lighter that had fallen to the floor, manipulated it, and the cigarette burning in a corner of his mouth stood up. He took off his pajamas. The smooth thickness of his arms, legs, and body, the sag of his big rounded shoulders made his body like a bear's. He was like a shaved bear's. His chest was hairless. His skin was childlessly soft and pink. He scratched the back of his neck and began to dress. He put on a thin white union suit, gray socks, black garters, and dark brown shoes. When he had fastened his shoes, he picked up the telephone, called Greystone 4500, and ordered cabs. He put on a green striped white shirt, soft white collar, a green necktie, the gray suit he had worn that day, a loose tweed overcoat, and a dark gray hat. The street door bell rang as he stuffed tobacco, keys, and money into his pockets. Okay, we'll stop there. Wow. I mean, so much detail in the rolling of the cigarette and the putting on of clothes, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm like, makes you wonder if he's getting paid by the word. It's just like so much excruciating detail. Yeah, I don't know. Different times. Today, I don't think we'd get away with that in a novel or short story as being a little excessive on the detail. And also, like, no, it's interesting. When I teach writing, when I teach creative writing, especially around fiction and like descriptions, physical descriptions, I say like part of physical description is recognizing that the way that something is described is also a revelation of the psychology and the value system of the person who's observing. So what this says to me, right, this meticulous detailing and ordering of like the specifics around physical description, around steps and methodology, what this does speak to is the character of Sam Spade as being a meticulous, detail-oriented, system-oriented, like method and procedure-oriented person. But yeah, it's just so much of it. It was just really, I don't think I'd ever noticed. I wonder if like in the audiobook versions of this, if they trim out some of this like extraneous, well, this detail, or like tone it down a little bit, because I don't remember it being quite that extreme. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Question 2 is, do we need to do any repairs? Well, we wait for the weather to change. Yeah, it is interesting. Like different genres, different, characters have like their own little tropes, signatures like that. What I don't like about this weather is that it's just making it really hard to go and do anything, right? It's like, oh, we're going to have a blizzard, but we're not having a blizzard yet.
Not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, we got more water in here. Do we skip this? Okay, skip this. Yeah, we'll skip this. Yeah. So yeah, what else did I do? So I spent the morning reading a lot, making notes. And then I'd also spent part of the morning going through my closet and just assembling a huge pile of things that no longer fit me, I guess is correct. And decided I would just make a trip to Value Village and dump off a big pile of donation, like clothing that I'm just not going to wear. So I did that, and then of course, since I'm there and since they gave me a coupon, I spent more time just kind of looking through what they had to offer. That particular Value Village is really big, sizable collection of stuff. Selection was honestly not too bad. It was not great. I ended up chatting with a couple other people who were browsing around there. One of them guy even bigger than me, much bigger than me. He was probably about 6'4" and broader than me, so he was even wider. I kind of looked at him, and we're both like at the extra large and larger section, looking over things. And he said, I asked, like, I mentioned the fact that it never seems like they have very much selection. And he says, yeah, they don't here, but he says, so you should try Richmond. He says, like, no one in Richmond seems to want the sizes that we generally want, so it would be advantageous to give it a try. My problem is, even if I lose weight, get down to like when I'm at my much lighter weight, I still find I struggle with the fact that my frame is just larger. So like I'm too broad in the shoulder, and so it requires, I have to do weird things like buy like 2XL slim or extra slim, which is like a weird size, but it's like broad on the top and then tapered more, So I found one like that. Yeah. But what I did end up finding was that this particular Value Village had a really wonderful selection of silk ties. Italian silk and even handmade silk ties. It would be the cheapest time to find fall and winter clothing, except for our Value Villages around here they're queued up with the season. So like if things are out of season, you won't find them. They generally won't be there. So you're kind of out of luck. You have to go just before the season. So like if like August, end of August would be a great time for me to find fall clothing. But yeah, so anyways, I got a tip as to where to look next time. Okay, so we had all these guys here. And then I have this. Well, what am I waiting for? I already have cured guts. Why was I waiting? Okay. I should start working on this thing already. Okay. Definitely going to have cabin fever here in a second.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oh. No. It looks like it should be good enough, but it's not. How many of these are we going to find? -3.
dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Okay, slept for a couple hours outside. But I don't think it's going to do much to fix our
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
cabin fever problem. We have one working bow. We're running out of food here. We are officially out of food. We're gonna have to start hunting things. I mean, it's a good thing, but we also need the ability to make fire, so. So yeah, I ended up buying a few different ties, really beautiful ties. I was talking to my roommate, like when they were home they got back from campus and were home for a little bit, and I was like saying, yeah, I went there hoping to find a light jacket. I keep looking for like some options for light jackets for spring and for fall. They have like more heavyweight jackets for fall and winter, and just something spring, summer, fall light jacket range. I have fewer options. And I know I was telling them that I ended up buying a few ties. And yeah, and they were saying, it was like, yeah, it's no wonder you find like a lot of good ties. It's like no one wears ties anymore. It's like point taken. It's like I happen to wear ties because I like to dress up when I go to church on Sunday, and I like wearing, suit and tie, or like a nice shirt tie combo, some of the time, I do like to dress up sometimes. I think the irony is I'm more comfortable, like I know how to dress myself for formal, semi-formal occasions, and I know how to dress myself for super casual occasions, and then everything in between, it's been a long process of learning through experimentation, a lot of trial, a lot of error in terms of what seems to work for me. A lot of things I think, oh, that should work for me, and then I like buy it and try it, and it's like, no, that was a terrible idea. It's like either it's like the color makes no sense for me.
Anything right about now.
Or it's like, it just looks weird. Like I chose poorly. I think we should do this. We should make some. I kind of want to make another bow. Tempting to make a Troy. Wait. Okay, so I'm with the camp of like, let's make an extra bow.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Why 2 bows? Well, those of you who've been around for a while know that I really, really love the idea of having 2 bows, because the game will switch between, will choose the bow with the highest condition, and so as you use them, it alternates back and forth, and it stretches them out much longer.
I'll die if I don't get some food soon.
Okay, come on, wind. Yeah, that's fine.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, it just seems extra gusty right now.
Perfect.
We're gonna go. Okay. Dual wield? That would be clever, but I don't think we can do that. Okay. Need more torches.
Come on, little fire.
So yeah, what else did I do? So I got back from like my little shopping trip. I also ran and picked up a few more food items.
Come on, little fire.
Running low
I wonder
on
if I can drop
overlooked
any of this
before.
gear.
And I got back, and then what else did I work on? Oh, I worked on.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I had started making Chinese pot stickers or dumplings yesterday, and I had run out of skins. So I took another package out from the freezer last night and let it thaw out. And then I used the remaining mix today to make more dumplings. And then I had the classic hot dog bun, hot dog dilemma where you end up with, too much of the other. So I ended up using up the whole pack of skins, but I had a little bit of meat left over, a little bit of filling left over. I was like, what am I going to do with this? It's not enough to warrant, a whole new package. But it's too much to just throw out. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just stir fry it and have it on some rice. Okay. It seems pretty gusty here still. Do we think we could do this?
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Should I do something else for a little bit? I hate wasting another piece of coal, but we'll do as well. Well, actually, did we stash any coal here? I can't remember. I don't think we did.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Yeah, I can put it in there. We already chopped up all the crates. I guess there's nothing else we can do. Okay, we're gonna go make some more tea.
Not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. Still sounds windy.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Here he comes. Got him on the back, but not good enough. Wasted one of our arrows. Yeah, we want to go pick up our guts from the fish. I think it's log sort we left them at. Because then we'll be able to make. Well, we could make fishing line, or we can make the rabbit fur hat or mitts. So yeah, I finished making the dumplings, and then I froze them in the freezer, put them in Ziploc bags that have
Good. Weak.
plenty for later. And then, what else did I do? I think I watched a little bit of TV. But yeah, it's like by the time I got back and finished doing the dumplings, I was pretty close to being done. Energy-wise, we wanted to do anything else, so.
Is making my head feel thick. Yeah, we've already been in here. But let's see if there's any new coal. This pack is getting too heavy.
Yeah, I'll also warm up a little bit. Yeah, I kind of thought we'd get some respawn coal, but not so much. Nope, nothing respawned. Disappointing. Oh, I remember what else I did. At 5 o'clock, I had a meeting with, so my last meeting with, so I participate as a volunteer for Writer to Writer, which is a program sponsored by the AWP, the Association for Writers and Writing Programs in the U.S. Anyways, it's a big, major writing organization, and they sponsor Writer to Writer, which is a mentorship program. And for the past 2 months, I've been meeting most weeks with younger writer. They have like somewhere between an hour or 2 long, hour to 2, sometimes 3 hour long conversations.
I barely walk with this much gear.
Where I provide feedback. Oh no. Provide feedback on work. And we talk about writing life.
So we had our last meeting. Which was fun, but sad. Although we might meet up again every so often to check in on some other stuff. So. Our last official meeting. Perfect. Wind is finally stopped.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay. Still living a good life. So the real question is, where are we going to go next? Where are we going next? Should we go to Pleasant Valley? Should we... I think we should go to Pleasant Valley and go to Ash Canyon. Going to Timberwolf Mountain also makes sense. Try to get to the summit and see if we can get ourselves a firestriker there.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
76. Not in love with carrying 21. Might be enough though to attract something.
I never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
Yeah, beginning next Friday. It's back to me being hermit mode. My roommate will be gone for like 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Hold on a second here. Back in a second. I realized I'd forgotten to switch back.
I got it.
Like sitting there.
Soon.
Okay, so we're gonna head up, find ourselves a trailer. I don't think we've looted the blue trailer up here.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load from...
Yay, food. Okay.
Come on, little fire. Come on. This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, let's think about where we were. So, we went Mystery Lake to Pleasant Valley. So maybe we want to go to the ravine. We already been to Pleasant Valley.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Now that we have our bow, we can definitely hunt. But we're still dependent on good weather. Yeah. The wind is terrible right now. I don't think we'll get to go anywhere. It's coming right down the hill. That's a losing proposition for us, so we're not going to do it.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yep, that's definitely the ender for this one.
Come on, little fire. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yep, that didn't work. Yep, looks like my mother booked her flight out to visit. So originally she was going to come out earlier, but it looks like she's coming out on the 16th or 27th. Guess that's fine. And this wind. No, didn't keep it all. No.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, she and my nephews were originally going to fly to Abbotsford, which is outside the city, and stay with friends in Langley. But as it turns out, it's cheaper to fly to Vancouver, which I was not surprised by, even though it's pretty expensive still. So now I have to drive them from Vancouver to Abbotsford. So depending on the times, could be kind of a painful. Let's see. Saturday. Okay, Saturday's not too bad. Saturday, 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Hopefully it won't be too crazy. And coming back on the Wednesday, in the evening. Yeah, we can make this work.
Where can I find something to eat?
Check and see how it looks out here.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear. Come on, little fire. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. 90%. So the question is, are we going to well, there might be a deer up here. Let's see if we get that.
Barely walk with this much gear.
I think we're gonna get a wolf at the very least. There it is. Nope. Missed both shots. That was embarrassing, but nonetheless effective.
I think my stomach is eating itself.
Hold on a second.
Go away, spin bot.
I hate being cold, because I really do. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Just checking to see if I missed anything. But apparently the coal is respawned, so it'll be heavy with coal by the time we get out of here. Yeah, I don't think we missed anything here. Yeah, this represents another oddly inconvenient place to stick a workbench. It's like, really? Here? Way down here. The one in Crumbling Highway I actually don't mind. But this one, it's like, why would you need this one? And it's so deep inside the mine. We'll skip that. We don't need any more coal. We're at how much now? 42. Way too much. So yeah, I'm still waiting to find out whether or not I have a Sunday night D&D game. And then this coming Wednesday night, we're just doing board games, playing Talisman, because we wrapped up our one-shot for our mini campaign already. So, and someone else wants to run either Call of Cthulhu or Vampire. We'll have a little break and run a few weeks in a different system, and then by the time we get to September, I'll have to have started up a new campaign. I'll have to figure out what the next campaign is. I'm wondering if I should do another Isekai campaign. It's a little bit of work to set up, but it is kind of fun. Extremely meta, but fun nonetheless. Have everyone play a version of themselves transported into another world. But given that everyone is already a D&D player, and the world operates mostly like D&D, that is kind of entertaining. There's also some interest in like something that takes place in the sewers. There's unresolved threads from previous campaigns involving sewer pirates, which I'm still trying to decide. We done messed up real good here. Oops. Torch fell down. I have to hope there's still sunlight on the other side. Oops. You know, I threw that torch and I could see it bouncing. I was like thinking, this is not going to be good. Sure enough, it wasn't good. What did I watch the other day that turned out to be good? I watched Western called Old Henry. I don't know if anyone's seen that. It's kind of a lower budget, made I think on a lower budget Western, but surprisingly, just well acted, interesting twists, good sort of gunfight battle, in the last third of the game of the movie. Kind of got a little bit of a slow burn getting started, but you kind of sense you're going to get something big coming. But it was quite good.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. Nice place. Start a fire. I can't carry all this coal, so I might as well use it for something.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Okay, off we go. Yeah. Gotta be careful about how we go down. Don't want to cut through Cougar territory. So yeah, anyways, I'm looking forward to finishing up this weekend all my written notes for this one research project. And then once I'm done with that, you know, I'll have met the minimum requirements to get the class completed. I can continue to do some additional research, but the main thing that I need to meet the requirement will be done. And so, yeah, that'll be great. Then I can get my paperwork filed early in August. And then I also need to start advertising for my writing coaching services and manuscript editing services for this fall, because I'm going to need to pick up. I have a little bit of extra work coming, but I would like to. Oh, and they've actually asked my bosses asked for approval to raise my rate, which would be great. Then I could make up for the fact that I'm having fewer hours. How are we doing? We are on day 33. So yeah, next stream I will probably... So if we finish off the stream on day 34, I think, 34, 35, then next stream we'll probably finish tying my previous record. Just take a couple more streams before we beat 50. Some sort of mosquito in the house. Yeah, I think we're coming down this way. Avoid taking the long route. We'll go the shorter route here.
I can't feel my hands.
I think we're completely out of food at this point. All we have are teas. We have to find something.
Oh, so cold.
Oh, more mittens.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Okay, let's go. Alright, our best bet is to go up to the cave and actually, I'm certain it's not. Okay, that's a little bothersome. I think the hilltop cave is where the
It's
trigger
goddamn
ends out.
freezing. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
That's Thompson's Crossing. Do I have any charcoal? I don't have any charcoal. Okay, I think we'll probably go for another 15 minutes and we'll wrap up when we get to the barn, I think. Depends where we can find food. I think we just push all the way on to it's like we know there's going to be a deer carcass next to the Pleasant Valley farmstead, so we probably should just go there. Okay. We got a little bit of shelter from this wind.
One little fire. Perfect. My stomach feels like an empty pit. I need to find some place to escape this cold.
Okay. Oh yeah, no worries, Roar. We're probably gonna wrap up here soon too. We got maybe another 5 minutes and we gotta cook up a deer though. Can't leave Astrid with an empty stomach. We already harvested that deer. We already harvested the deer. Unless there's a deer on the other side of this.
If I don't warm up soon.
Okay, that was a miscalculation. No deer. Did we leave any food? Did we leave an extra flour? I think we left the flour behind.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Perfect. Okay, we solved our food problem. Okay. Good job, Astrid.
Come on, little fire. with this much gear. I'm so hungry.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna need to eat soon. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay, we are on day 34. So I think this is where we're wrapping up for tonight. If I'm not mistaken, we should have one dead wolf now. Yeah, we killed the wolf and we didn't get to harvest him. Saved. Okay, we're just 5 days from beating our previous record and 16 days from breaking or beating the challenge. So, yeah, I think it's just me tonight. Everyone else has gone off, but we're going to wrap up as we always do with a poem. Here, let's read something. Chooser chooses after. And I don't know. I'll read something else. Okay, this is an hour before arriving. I see home from The Lost Country of Sight, published by Inhinga Press, 2008. Yes, 2008. Wow, that's a while ago. By Inhinga Press, winner of the Book Review Prize. This is a poem entitled "An Hour Before Arriving, I See Home." The fields scraped clean with frost, and the city's haze barely visible ahead. The side, wells quiet with the iron taste of water. The road, the earth's thin seam, a straight cut through this body of unseen grain. What is closest is still, what is merciless is newly grown on the dark panes of abandoned farmhouses. Everything winds upward, even the world pressed flat like the last edge of the hour, and this hand turning round and round and round. Okay, hour before arriving, I see home. So yeah, this is inspired by driving in the roads in Saskatchewan. You frequently, it's so flat out there that you see your destination a good 45 minutes before you get there. It's just really trippy, but it's so flat. The air is so clean, and there's no distracting light pollution. So if there's lights from the city, you see it. You see the outline of the city. It's pretty wild. And so yeah, poem was kind of inspired by that, about seeing destinations long before you get there, and sort of the anxious anticipation of getting there, as well as just how quiet everything is, how still, when you're moving through a space where, in the countryside, there's just nothing else to see, nothing else to encounter, go long stretches without seeing other cars. Yeah, especially in the wintertime. So, an hour before arriving, I see home. Okay, just something short tonight, and we are going to figure out who we can go raid. So, let's get that started here shortly. Okay, so what do we have right now? Potown is taking a break. This Hellcat is up. Games and Cookies is up. We did Games and Cookies recently. Okay. I guess Miss Hellcat is hunting cougars. Go team. So yeah, we're going to raid Miss Hellcat. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Those of you who are here in earlier, those of you catching this later on YouTube. Yeah, we will be back again on Tuesday night. Yeah, should be back on Tuesday night. I don't anticipate any changes to that schedule. So Okay, so we're going to get ready and head on out. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight, and we'll be back again Tuesday night.